Marguerite heard music as his left foot approached the sixth step down, also known as the second step up, in his ongoing movement towards the lower deck of the bus. In fact, he realised he'd been hearing music for some little while, but it was only now that it fully entered his, and for that reason our, consciousness. At the same time, a pair of shapely female legs appeared within his field of vision from the right, enabling him to take his eyes from what he had taken to be the freckled tops of Harold Absalon's lovely breasts, almost directly below him. He could not prevent himself from putting the two new pieces of evidence together. He wondered, given the music, whether the legs, which were approaching his projected landing point at the bottom of the stairs, belonged to a person known as a busker. Buskers were people who played music or engaged in other performances publicly with a view to being paid for those performances by other passengers, in the case of those buskers travelling on public transport, or by passers-by, in the case of those buskers who were not on any form of transport, at least not any moving form of transport. This situation was different, note, to the scenario in which someone was just whistling to themselves or listening to a person or other sort of stereo, say, however loudly, regardless of whether the person engaged in those private acts defined themselves under somewhat different circumstances as a busker. That is to say, there was more to the musical busker than music publicly expressed. The busker had to want to busk at that moment, and must be open to the possibility that those hearing their music would want to give money to them for hearing that music. In fact, the busker would actively encourage the giving of money by making available, for example, a hat or other headpiece proffered in an inverse position to that employed when actually wearing the hat or other headpiece, with this proffering occurring either in the hand of the busker, a hand that is holding the hat in the direction of the person or people from whom he expected to receive funds, or through placing the hat in that inverse position on the ground between themselves and their potential donors. This latter means of proffering the hat was not generally used by buskers busking on public transport.